All right, guys, welcome to another video here. Today, I'm joined by Faith and Failure. I'm very excited to sit down and chat with these guys. Thank you all so much for taking the time to sit down with me. Um, everyone that's in here, do you want to take a quick second, just kind of introduce yourself and what your role is within the band?
Cole, I play guitar.
I'm Matt, and I play bass.
I'm Aaron, and I also play guitar. Well, and then there was one.
Dramatic pause. Uh-oh, he's frozen.
I was gonna say it looks like he's lagging just a little bit.
This is off to a glowing start.
Hey,
You're frozen, bro.
oh man.
Chad's a clanker. Sing and do all the screams. It's fun.
Hey, you got to say all of that. We heard nothing. You were frozen.
Oh, went right back to it.
It's so
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Hawaii. This is what happens when your basement's bigger than your house.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you've been frozen for like the past minute and a half.
I'm doing just fine on mine. I can feel it. Could you hear me?
I'm down there, Bruce Lee.
Wow, it just kicked me off. Okay, I might have to get out of.
I think you're good. Now you can introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Chad. I sing and I do all the screamy stuff in the band. It's fun.
Not to mention the kung fu moves you just showed us.
Oh, that was sick.
Oh, I thought it didn't work.
Well, no, it did, but it like was a rapid recap, so you went like 100 miles an hour.
That was speed. That was real speed.
I'll send the clip to the to you guys on the Instagram, and I'm sure I'll put that as a reel too.
Perfect.
Technical difficulties.
Content, so yes, thank you.
So like I said, I do have a couple questions that I am very curious about. The first one being the band name Faith and Failure. How did that become the name of the band, basically? I was kind of curious.
Well, there's no like hidden meaning or anything behind it. It literally was just from, and this was over 10 years ago now. I was just hanging out with my sister one day. We were just purposely trying to come up with like really bad band names and then making each other laugh and like write them down. And we had like TV on in the background, and something that came on like a commercial or something said something along the lines of Faith and Failure. It wasn't quite that, but like heard it, and then I kind of said it as the band name. I was like, it's actually not a bad one. So I kind of wrote it down, and then a few days later I looked at it. I didn't think it was bad, and neither did she, and just kind of what it became. So no special meanings, unfortunately, or anything like that.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's still a story behind it, which is pretty unique. I like that. You're trying to think of bad band names, and you're like, here it is. This is the one.
Yeah, I mean, we still have the list of, or she probably does, actually, now I think about it, but it was just kind of happenstance, real random.
I don't know if you remember, and I don't know if we ever said anything to Matt and chat about it. Just another fun story with it. When I first joined the band and Cole and I went and met up and talked about things, I'd look at it like, are you open to changing this name? Because back then I didn't actually care for it. And he was like, we're not doing that. Like, okay. But I grew to love it. I like it a lot. Just the extra little fun.
It has become one of my dailies.
Magical Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one that people can chant, because it's the magical 3-word, kind of a band name thing.
It does roll off the tongue nice,
The one funny thing is every now and then we get mistaken for like a Christian rock band, and that's usually pretty funny when that happens.
Happens a lot.
And then they hear Death Wish and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny was this was years ago now, but there was a Christian rock radio station, like an online radio station that kept playing Sleepless. They kept tagging us in it, and I was just like confused because that it's got the F bomb in it a couple times. It's also a song about killing yourself. Like it's not really, it's not uplifting and praising the Lord. So
The video to that is coming up next week, but Sleepless, I've been listening to that pretty much on repeat here lately. So it's funny you bring
I
that
just
up.
made Chad's day.
Yeah, you're making Chad real happy right now.
Sorry.
No, it's funny.
It's all good. We always laugh at it.
Um, what was Faith and Failure your guys' like first venture, or did you guys have a background in different bands, or what was this just kind of the hit?
I had a couple bands before this. One that did pretty well around Columbus. Um, but I've basically been in and out of random little projects since I was like 13. So kind of had a little bit of experience running up into this venture.
For me,
And,
I did cover bands for a while. In music school, I play in like a kind of musician for hire type thing where I would go play churches who did like full bands for services. And I tried to start a couple cover bands, which included having Matt in there a little. But they just never really worked out, and I got tired of doing the cover band stuff. And uh, I'd always wanted to start an original band, and so I just in the background always worked on music and kind of laid groundwork essentially to kind of get it going. And then once this became a thing, it's been the only band that I've done.
I've been in other bands, but oof.
Go ahead, Chad.
Go ahead. I've been in other bands, but this is the first band like I could be myself in, which is nice. I don't really, I don't have anybody telling me that my ideas are stupid. We do our best to kind of make things work in this band, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have, like Cole said, I think band experience for me, it was just doing some of that cover band stuff. But I've been playing for well over 20 years now. So I guess I had a lot of experience with the instrument before joining the band.
Okay, heck yeah, that's a good long time.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then I forget if there's still the one person that we can't see is still in chat or not.
Looks like we're all here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone got everything working. All right. The because I know at least some of you have watched my content, so I talk fairly heavily about mental health and stuff like that. When it comes to the songwriting process, how do you bridge that with mental health? Because like I can tell a lot of your songs, like the lyrics are talking about like actual things that have went on. How do you bridge that to writing the music that you guys do?
Take that first, Chad.
Yeah. I mean, I try to have like fun with it. Like most of the songs are like the core of it. It's about like stuff like we got a song about pirates, and we got songs about like a dude that sits in a chair and like he's like taking blood from a bunch of people, and you know but like when it comes to like doing choruses and stuff, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of emotion, and that just comes with like the style of like singing, and there's certain words that you can put when you're doing a certain style, or and they just not that they don't come from the heart, which they do. It's just mental health is not like a thing on my mind, but like I'm trying to immerse you into what the character is feeling, you know, because a lot of it's like lore based, a lot of it's like character based, and um, like yes, while you know I might be feeling something myself, it's really I'm trying to tell a story about like what the character in the story that pertains to the song is feeling at the time. You know what I mean? Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah, yeah. And it's I think that you guys do a very, very good job with storytelling through the music too, which is awesome. Like a lot of the bands that I listen to are like that 3 minute mark. You guys have like five to like I think the longest song I listened to is 7 minutes, and they don't grow stale, which is awesome. Like that is really hard to do.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That as far as the music goes, because Chad always does his thing with lyrics, and the joke is always we never know what anything is about until he like steps in the booth and starts actually tracking vocals. But as far as the music goes, I mean, it's just a lot of inspiration because all the bands that I like just kind of write music that they're not trying to hit a certain time or trying to appease a certain thing. It's just you're kind of writing music and you just let the song write itself. And if it's 7 minutes long, it's 7 minutes long. If it's five or whatever, like the song's finished when it naturally finishes. And um that was one of the things that like the guy that we've been recording with forever, when we first started going with him, that's like one of the things he used to always question us on and be like, you sure you want this song to be like 5.5 minutes? You sure you need this? You sure you need that? Because he always worked with a lot of the like like the octane core kind of bands where everything's like in that 3 to maybe 3.5 minute mark, and we're like, no, yeah, we want it in there. And it's just over the years like he's come to expect it. So if we've come in and go, hey, this song is 7 minutes, he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or if we're just doing like just crazy stuff, like, oh hey, we're gonna
We're going to put a sword
track
fight
stuff
in the
like,
store.
yeah, we're gonna place a sword fight in the middle of a song, or we're gonna like
Yeah.
track a keg, or we're gonna do just like whatever. Like we have all these kind of fun, sometimes off the wall ideas, and like he genuinely is excited for him and stuff. And now we come in and he's like just like stoked on working with us and stuff because we are doing basically what we want to do, and it helps us be a little bit more unique and stand out from the crowd. Because like honestly, pretty much every show we've ever done, we've always stood out from probably 95% of the people we've played with. It's very rare that we've had a show where we've played with somebody else who would be kind of right in the same wheelhouse as what we do. I mean, it happens occasionally, but for the most of the time, not really.
Yeah, I still remember one of the things Ingram said. He was like, "You guys should just only write ballads because every time we write one, he just gets so excited every time we go in the studio."
Yeah, yeah.
I want to say, like we've done these interviews before, but that was probably the best question I think we've ever been asked. It was a really good question.
Thank you, thank you. I have been putting a lot of effort, so that means a lot. Did anyone else want to add anything to that one, or did we cover everything there? I'm trying to keep track. This
More.
is the biggest interview I've done, so I'm trying to keep track of who's.
Good.
Do you
Think you
guys
got
have
it.
any pre-show rituals or anything like that that you guys do before you go on?
A little bit.
Sometimes Chad gets drunk and throws up.
Yeah.
Just walking on stage. Bleh.
No,
Yeah, it's
what
great.
show we played at the King of Clubs? I don't remember what show it was, but he had a lot to drink and wasn't feeling good, and then we couldn't find him until like 2 or 3 minutes before we were going on, and then he just kind of randomly shows up on stage like, "Oh, I was outside throwing up. I feel great now."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like
They
them.
had a bunch of these little wine bottles, and I don't know why. It was just like I need red wine tonight, and I drank every like bottle of red wine like in there before we played.
and then they went on a
Yeah.
shortage.
Yeah.
That was after he got his membership to a wine club.
Yeah.
It was real fancy.
Still got it.
We don't have like a set like band ritual or anything. I know I try to just go warm up for at least 10 minutes or so, stretch a little bit, kind of deal.
Me and
Time
Aaron
to
play
kind
video
of
games.
just they play video games in the trailer now.
Yeah, that too.
I
Quick
really
instrument
can't
check.
wait because what's the video game of choice in the trailer? Is it going to be Diablo? Is it
Ooh.
going to be something like Mario Kart?
Halo.
Oh, we
Xbox.
all love Halo. Yeah.
Yeah,
We have arcade cabinets in there. We play Mortal Kombat. I know this last time we were playing, like it was WRC, but it was the 2015 one where it's like rally car racing. And it
Mhm.
was so much fun. We had a blast.
random old Star Wars games.
Yeah. We were playing just got re-released.
The Knights
Oh
of the
my
Old
gosh.
Republic.
No, oh my gosh. Jedi Power Battles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was really hard. It's so much harder than it used to be.
Which is weird because I would argue we're all better at games now as adults. But it's like back when you were a kid, it's like, oh, I knew how to do this easy. And now you're like, what am I even doing?
No, I
They
am
made it
so
harder.
much worse.
So much
I
harder.
I used to compete not professionally, but I'd go to competitions and stuff for like Gears of War and Halo and Guitar Hero and stuff. Nowadays, no.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
But that was also when I could play
You
8 to
rolled
10 hours
shotgun
a
to
day
everybody.
and yes.
I hated
I
you.
love Guitar Hero.
We need to get that in the trailer.
Yeah, we do.
I'm surprised
I
they don't.
I need to get like I don't know, like a little computer to put in there so we can play it on there. That'd be sweet.
Do it. Get on it.
Yeah, when you come for the show we were talking about, you can come hang out in the trailer and play video games or eat Pringles.
Hey,
Whatever.
I'm very excited for that one. What I saw that and I was like, I got to talk to my wife like right now about this show because I need to go.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
A few minutes ago, we kind of briefly mentioned some like influences to the band. If you were to describe Faith and Failure to someone who has not heard your music before, uh, how would you describe your music or your influences to kind of relate to them?
We're a wannabe Avenged Sevenfold band. It's,
He's not
We're
wrong.
the Walmart
He's
brand
not
of
wrong.
it.
we have
Honestly,
Avenged Sevenfold at home.
the sole reason I learned how to play guitar was because of Avenged Sevenfold. So their influences is pretty much in everything what we do. I mean, take a listen to the vocals on Troubled Times. I mean, that is as about as Avenged Sevenfold vocally as you can get without being Avenged Sevenfold.
Well, even the ones that aren't, like my favorite band is Sonata Arctica, which is also M Shadows' favorite band. So like even the high
Oh,
stuff is yeah, we're like Avenged Sevenfold. It's cool.
Yeah,
and that's something.
yeah. I just
Did that kind of come recent? Because uh, I don't know if I've listened to all of your music, but I know I've listened to a bit. But Death Wish and Troubled Times are like two of the most, in my opinion. Um, other than I guess the length and the guitar solos that you guys like to do in the songs too. I guess vocally is
I
what I
mean,
mean
like
with those.
I was gonna say, yeah, instrumentally, it's Avenged Sevenfold, it's Black Veil Brides, it's Bullet for My Valentine, Kill Switch Engage, a lot of that stuff. I mean, for me, the greatest era is just that like the late 2000s to like mid 2010s, like metalcore um, type of a deal. So a lot of those things are there, but yeah, vocally, Chad's is doing all kinds of things.
And I asked that question too because I also had a funny story because I kind of knew the Event Sevenfold with the shirt and everything too. Um, uh, like a month ago, I was talking to two of my bosses at work, and one of them, she was talking about we were talking about like music and stuff. We talk about my channel quite a bit. So we're talking about music, and she mentioned that she liked Avenged Sevenfold, and my GM was trying to guess her favorite Avenged Sevenfold song. So he's playing song after song, this, that, and the other, and I was like, hey, I have one that you might not know, but I started playing Troubled Times, and his face when the lyrics came in, he's sitting there like so flustered, and I was like, what? And he's like, I cannot think of what Avenged Sevenfold song this is. I was like, well, funny story, it's not. It's a band from Columbus called Faith and Failure, and they're freaking awesome. And he's like, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
thank you
awesome.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I throw a lot of bands out there now because I pretty much listen to music from the time I wake up till I go to bed. But I think it's
Cool.
cool. So that's awesome, and I can't wait to see you guys. Um, gosh, lost my train of thought here.
It happens to the best of us. Happens to us all the time.
Well, we talked about throwing up before you go on stage. What's like the craziest story of a fan that you guys have from any of the shows that you've done?
Oh, there's a couple. They might have been
You're
at
gonna
the
get
same
these
That's
unlocked.
that's what I wanted to hear.
Well, there was it.
The faux op
It,
one.
it affected me. The one affected me and Matt the most negatively. There was this woman. She was like, "Oh, I have the picture with the band." So she hands Matt her phone and goes, "Can you take this picture for me?" And he's like, "I'm in the band." And then
Yeah,
he looks at me and goes,
it was
"Can
right
you
after
take
we got done with. I think it was right after we got done with the King of Club show, and we were all out back, like packing our gear up. She comes out, she's hammered, and she was like, "Oh my god, I loved you guys. You guys sounded great." She's like looking at like Chad and Cole and all
Nick.
them, and then Nick. And she was like, "Can I get a picture with you guys?" And she like, and Aaron's like, and she like goes to hand Aaron the phone. He like walks over with the band, and she hands it to me, and she was like, "Can you take a picture of me with the band?" And I'm like, "I'm in the band. I was just on stage."
He's the tallest one
That
of us."
actually might have. Was that the show that Chad threw up first?
It
I
might
think
be.
No.
because
Was it
I'm pretty sure it was the Buck Cherry show.
Yep, because it was
Yeah,
also
in
the
Blackstone Cherry?
Yeah.
Or Blackstone Cherry. Sorry, I always get those confused.
Nate was in the band, yeah.
It was a Blackstone Cherry show.
Yeah.
Chad,
Because
you gotta,
that was the one I thought of instantly, and then I thought of the "Ooh Baby We Fartin'" one.
yeah, Chad, you gotta.
That was
Which
the
I'll
same
let-
night. That was
So
the same night.
No, that one wasn't, because that was the New Music Movement. Because remember, we had the green room.
Okay, that's the one I threw up in because Nate was there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the one time we played there with Nate. But if you should tell the
You can
story.
tell the story.
Oh my gosh, the "Ooh Baby We Fartin'" story.
Yeah, 'cause I
Oh
remember
man.
it was there, but I don't remember it very well.
It's so good.
We were up in like what they call it like the royal room, so it's like the green room, but it's like the bigger one. They were letting like all the bands use the royal room because we were all like local there, and it was cool. Anyway, we got done playing, and there was a band that played after us, but they like left this woman in there. I don't know if she was with the band or they just let her back there, or like people thought she was staff. I have no idea like why a band would want to hang out with this woman, but she's in the royal room with us. And so we're sitting on the couch, and me and Aaron we're just chilling, and like she's in there, but she's in the green room. So when she goes into the royal room where we are, like she's just kind of like doing that, like drunk mom dancing. And I forget what she was saying to us, but she was trying to like talk. She was like, "Oh, I thought you guys were great and all that." And like, I mean, her breath was just the worst thing I have ever smelled in my entire life. And I was like, I couldn't possibly smell anything worse than this. So I was like, Aaron, we got to go. We got to get out of here. But like when we get up to leave, we just like it got worse. There was like this horrible, just awful sewage smell, and like she was still drunk mom dancing, and I'm like she shit herself or something. It was just horrible. Like we had to get out of there, and she was like blocking the door. You know that's that story is crazy. It's horrible. I thought I was gonna puke again.
Yeah, it was.
Good times.
You're
But
like, do I have to
afterwards,
call
we
the
just
cops because
laughed
she's
and laughed
kidnapping
and
me?
laughed. Yeah,
Right,
it was
right.
horrible.
Every
I thought
adult.
we could have died.
Next thing you
Yeah,
know,
there's
you're all like,
cool fan
dead in her
moments too.
trunk.
Yeah, there's
I don't know
really
if
cool fan moments too. Like there was this last show we did. Was it the last? Yeah, it was the last show. No, it was the one before that. Who headlined at that one at Ace?
Deadlands.
Deadlands. So after the show, me and Cole stayed for the whole thing. We were just kind of chilling in front of our merch table, and they announced that they were going to do a meet and greet after the show. So there was this big line up to where their merch booth was, but you would have to pass us to get to it. And it was cool. Like every single person in line, they bought stuff. They wanted us to sign stuff, and I remember there was like a little girl, and she was just shaking, and her parents were there, and they're like, "Hey, like she doesn't want to ask, but she thought you guys were really great. She's too nervous to ask, but will you take a picture with her?" And I said absolutely. So
Chad
it
said
was really
no.
cool. And she came up, she said hi, and she was just that would have been horrible with me, but she was just shaking. She was so nervous. It was just really just sweet and cool.
That's really
Yeah, it was a
awesome.
pretty cool time.
And that's one thing I'm working on is trying to get my kids to some shows here soon. We're finding some difficulties, but trying to navigate the way of a parent, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
My son, I'm most excited for. I don't know if I've posted or talked about it too much, but our oldest, our son, has Down syndrome, and it's so weird with him because if he's making the noise, he's okay with however loud it is. But if it's anything else, eh, he like shuts down, and I'm like, dude, you were just making a noise like 10 times as loud as what that was. But I think he would be a blast to have at some shows because he's got those he's got the dance moves. Definitely not like me.
Oh yeah, more that drunk mom.
Yeah, drunk mom moves.
He's got it. He's got
Ooh,
it.
baby, we fought. And
So funny.
Apologize, I'm dying.
Aren't we all?
Slowly.
One day at a time. Oh, Jesus. I apologize. I really feel like I'm choking on nothing.
Water, buddy.
Worst way to die. Covered a bit. Shit. I was curious, and I meant to ask this earlier, actually, with the music, but what was there any? What was the song that was the hardest to write from a mental health standpoint, but once you got finished with it, you were kind of like, you know what, I am really, really proud of this, and I'm glad that I did that. Um, and I wasn't quite sure how to ask that because I know you said like you do, but you don't. But I was just curious, like, has there been any that have been kind of difficult for you?
Um,
And if it's too personal, you don't have to answer that.
I mean, like from a mental health standpoint, um, I don't know. There was one so the tower it actually sounded different before, and we kind of just weren't feeling it. But originally it was like kind of about like a dude that was I forget because it's not about that anymore, but he was kind of like him and his relationship. It was like kind of over, but he had to like kind of like stay in like a hostile environment, like with the girl, and it was just we didn't end up doing it like that. I wanted to do the tower for what it is now, so we ended up going back and doing it. So it's kind of a like it was a reverse. Like I just didn't, and the rest of us agreed. Like we didn't feel that it was like right for the song. But I'm happy with like us going back and doing the tower for what it is now. Which now it's kind of crazy because it is a guy that like literally like he wants to die, but he can't. He's in a chair in a different dimension, and this chair has a bunch of like bloodlines, like tubes and stuff that keep him alive. And outside of this tower, because he can kind of like walk around and do stuff, but he like out in the marsh around him because it's a tower in the middle of the marsh. It's just a bunch of like livestock of people in this dimension that are keeping him alive, but they're all like they're alive, but it's kind of like a Matrix situation. Like if
Okay.
he were to die, he would have to kill everybody. Like there's just thousands, so that's like what the song is about. He like has to go and he has to like put all of these alive people like out of their misery because they're miserable keeping him alive, so he has to end all their lives before he ends his own life, or he wouldn't sit well with that, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because he would leave them there, and like I know you reacted to it and you watched it, and you thought it was like the part where it talks about holding on, reaching out. Why can't you show me your hand?
Hmm.
It's just there's nobody there to help him. Like he's got to deal with it on his own, and he's been there for thousands of years, and he just does not want to live anymore. But like I said, like he has to end the millions, thousands of people's lives before he ends his own because that's just like not the kind of person he is. And I'm really glad we did that story and not the other one. Um, yeah, it was for the best. That was probably the longest we worked on a song, just because we went and we did it twice.
Hmm.
But I'm happy with the way it turned out.
And I think it turned out
A
great. I
fun
enjoyed that one.
a fun Easter egg in the music. It's a little harder to hear in the song, but like at a show, you hear it in the tracks pretty well. Like that bridge section that happens after the guitar solo finishes. If you listen carefully, you'll hear like people being electrocuted, and we have like screams of just like hundreds and hundreds of people just, I guess, being killed. We were
Oh.
just, it was one of those things that we went into our producer and we're like, all right, listen, we need like samples of people just being like murdered, and then, but we need them to be electrocuted. We couldn't find anything, so it's one of those things where we had like empty liquid death cans, just taking like a guitar cable that was like plugged in and live and like tapping it on the can to get these like kind of electric sounds, and then like
Oh.
manipulating them like within Logic and trying to like really make it feel just like people are just being like electrocuted and just killed. And then it's cool because it kind of like it's a nice little come down, from everything beforehand, and then it builds back up. And he says the lines about like cut the throats of thousands, and then we kind of go into the next part, and it gets
Because
intense
he's
again,
literally
and
cutting the throats of thousands to end their miserable lives.
while they're all being electrocuted, so they had a
Yeah,
fun end.
That's what
Eh,
you hear at the end of the song too. Is the liquid death can.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's at the end of the song too. It's
That
for
was
those
fades out.
unfortunate ones who didn't die right away. they
yeah.
they held on.
That's because all that's left, because nobody is alive in this dimension. Nobody. All that's left is the zapping. It's so cool.
Hmm.
that's crazy,
Um,
and that's a very unique way to get that sound too. I would have not have guessed that, and I guarantee I didn't catch that in the song.
I think it was
we'll,
Aaron's idea,
we'll
wasn't it?
listen for it now.
hmm We have a lot of
Well,
like.
like
I
I
think
said, oh, good.
I was gonna say. I think we have a lot of like little like fun ideas like that we've kind of executed over the years and put into our songs. Like another one was "Dying Eyes." Like at the beginning part, that kind of sounds like bones being crushed. That was actually what was like a chip bag or something like that. That
Lift bar rapper.
he, yeah, and
Mhm.
that's what it. But then he took it, manipulated it, and did his own thing with it and all that, and it came out sounding amazing.
He also beat
It's
the
supposed to
talk
sound
mic
like
on
bones
his back,
crunching.
Yeah.
Also
What
with
was
the
that, Aaron?
Dying Eyes intro too. Yeah, the talkback mic.
Yeah.
hitting the talkback mic against the desk, and the computer is
Yeah.
getting whatever sound.
beginning
And
of
Oh, yeah,
on the
yeah.
beginning of on the line, you'll hear like a bell kind of sound. That's actually me just smacking the back of my bass neck. And I think Chad was helping me out doing it too, but
Yeah,
it
and
just
there's a
reverberates.
bass pitch scrape, but it's really low. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. There's a bit.
It's so
Oh,
slow,
yeah.
just very,
We-
very. It's so edgy and weird. If you were to solo that and listen to it, it would be like nails on a chalkboard. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
probably make your teeth cringe. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
one of
man.
those things that, like, over the years of writing, we've gone in and learned like how to make these weird soundscapes and stuff that you just kind of like think of, and you don't really know like how to describe it to somebody to be like, can we do this? Does this even exist? And it's like, it probably doesn't. So let's like, how can we make it? And that's always a fun thing because I'm pretty sure every song's got something that's just like so random
Stupid.
that you probably would never think of.
Yeah, like it's kind of one of those things. I think like I'm gonna say go without, but like you have to get creative because
Mhm.
like bouncing off a Cole said, it's like I really want this sound, but I don't have the resources or the time to sit there and sort through YouTube or whatever for hours on end. It's like, why don't we just make it? And it just sounds completely unique and cool.
Yeah,
And
like Death Wish is another fun one too. Like that kind of that
Mm.
lead up into the guitar solo, that rising sound you hear in the background that just kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Like we just learned how to do that with the guitar and
Mhm.
using like the sustainiac and driving the bar low and hitting a bunch of stuff and like just kind of slowly letting it up and like so you learn how to use even the instruments in like a completely different way to create these soundscapes and stuff that like I think if you listen to the song, you, a lot of them you probably won't even notice that they're there, but if they're not there, you would probably notice that they're not there.
Mhm.
that is some really unique stuff. That's awesome. I don't think I would be able to figure that stuff out. I mean, with the vision that you have and executing it and getting it to that, that's cool. That is really freaking cool.
It's
Usually,
fun
Chad will
getting.
have an idea. Like him and like when we were recording Hero 2, him and Aaron went and bought like a metal folding chair from like Lowe's or something and bought hammers and we're just in the live room just smacking hammers off of the chair to see
Yep.
like what kind of sounds you could get. And because he wanted to layer it in the breakdown with like the snare and like to make it a huge sound and so it's just it just kind of depends. I mean, each song is going to be a different
We
like
wanted
a
that Saint
different
Anger
crazy
trash
idea.
can snare.
Yeah.
Right. I love me some Saint Anger.
Hey, listen, if you watch them play some of that stuff live, the songs are really good. It's just that, God, the production on that album is so bad.
Mhm.
I like it. It's magical.
I mean, it's become such a
Classic.
meme now that I think a lot of people like it. But like, I could definitely see how people then did not like it.
Well, and that's the funny thing to me is like if I were to start a band, I love the sound in Saint Anger. Like if I were to start a band, I would be going for something like that. Um and I don't know if it was just like when I first started listening to that album that it just resonated with me like a lot. But over the years, I always find myself randomly just like, I'm gonna listen to some Saint Anger today. Frantic or
Yeah, yeah, they've done a few of the songs live, and live they always turn out great.
I think Sweet Amber is my favorite Metallica song.
I know what my favorite song is. Oh yeah, I do. It's "The God That Failed."
That's pretty
It's
good.
my favorite song.
Wins.
One of the best
I like
intros ever to any song.
I like
Look at the
Unforgiven
bass.
2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Dude, the Unforgiven 3, such an underrated song.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Death Magnetic is an underrated album of theirs.
Oh, it's so good.
They have one heck of a discography.
Yeah, you can
That they
you
do.
can go all day and try to find and probably find different songs that you forgot about, and you're like, oh, I love that.
Oh, 100%.
I think the only other band I've said that about, like what Aaron said, in all honesty, is probably Korn, because I forget half of the stuff that they release. Like they release albums that, like 10 years ago that I forgot existed.
The paradigm shift with
Big
Skrillex.
fan.
Yeah, I know. I should know every song.
Actually,
Yeah,
if you look behind all of Matt's vinyls, is every Korn album ever.
No, it's
Except
not.
for
It's
the
just
Fall of
Freak
the
on a
Leader.
Leash. It's just
Uh,
Freak on a Leash. Or yeah,
that's what I
Follow the
was
Leader.
just gonna say. I
Follow
was
the
like,
Leader.
I
It's
think
like,
I see
wow,
follow the
fake
leader down
fan.
there.
He didn't even know what it was called. He thought it was called Freak on a Leash.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot all about Freak on a Leash, man.
An album.
Hey, I at least know why there's silence in the beginning of the album, and I bet you don't, Cole.
Because no one told him to hit record.
No, it's to honor somebody, like one of their biggest fans who died, which is why they wrote the song Justin, which is on the album.
I just watched the music
Yeah.
video on TRL for Freak on a Leash.
Matt's secretly the hog cranking corn fan.
Was that a
That's
Bill
why Matt
Murray
wasn't at
reference?
rehearsal last time. He was in. He was in the cranking the hog.
They were doing Got the Life, and I just couldn't hold myself back anymore.
Matt got the hog.
He cranked it.
Is that a Bill Murray reference, or am I just thinking of that because of that?
You're thinking it because of that, yes.
Okay. They do some weird stuff when they play live, but I say a lot of off the wall stuff, so I think they just kind of flow with me.
For sure.
Off the wall is good.
Mm-hmm.
But variety is the spice of life, you know?
Have you guys attended any music festivals yet?
Like played or
Like
just
as a band
gone
or
and not?
as fans?
Played and then as fans, because this is a two-part question. So first, as a band, have you guys played at any festivals?
You could
Not like the
say
big
we
ones.
opened for Kiss at Sonic Temple.
Yeah, we played the parking lot 2 years ago. I think it was on the Saturday of Sonic Temple. It was that night that day that Kiss headlined. So we joked that we opened for Kiss at like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we were
12 hours in advance.
We were out there underneath a tent type setup booth with a PA system at like 9:30 in the morning.
Pissing off the people sleeping in the camping
Yeah,
grounds.
It's like one of the tents that you would see at like Warped Tour.
Yeah,
That's awesome, though.
We haven't played any of them. We've been in the running. Like there was 2 years where we were picked initially to do like Battle for Incarceration, so like back in 2020, and then there it was like 2022 maybe. There was, or it might have been 2021. I don't remember, but there was one that was another battle, but it was all online. So we've been kind of in the running for that at least. But with like the management that we work with now, we're getting submitted for all of the like the Danny Wimmer festivals. We're submitted for like South by Southwest next year and stuff. So fingers crossed. I mean, it's not guaranteed that we get them. Some of them we seemingly have a better chance than others. So you just gotta kind of hope for the best, get a little lucky, and just keep working. So you might see us at Incarceration next year. Who knows?
I am definitely hoping that's the one that my wife and I attend every single year since the first time we got to go one day, and now as soon as the passes go on sale, I just buy them. But I think you guys would be great on the lineup to any of the Danny Wimmer festivals. I just haven't attended any of the other ones yet. I just like that prison in the backdrop. It's just iconic for me, and they
cool.
will always get my money for that.
Yeah, like, the people we work with, they had 3 artists this year who were on it, and like our manager specifically is one of the people who helps book the third stage, for Ink. So that's like why it's one of the ones I think we're, I don't want to say we're going to be a lock for, but like that's the best one that we have the chance for. But he gets to sit with like Danny and his team on like a call, like basically once like Aftershock wraps up and they're kind of focusing on next year stuff. Being from Columbus, obviously Sonic Temple's right there. There's Ink, but we've told them we're cool with traveling, and they've had people on those as well as like Rockfest and Rocklahoma and different things. So basically, what I told them was just like submit us for everything, like we'll go wherever. So fingers crossed we get to do a couple of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely any way if I could help out with anything, I would put your guys' name in the hat like ASAP, but um I know that they do things a
Oh,
bit
you kind
differently
of
for
are.
festivals.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
The
have to
thing that
start
we were
tagging
talking
Danny
about the
Wimber in
other
all the
day.
videos.
Hey. Well, I don't know if the rest of the guys saw the messages, but there's a thing in Zanesville. He was talking to me about getting this on next year. Was it the Beard Bash something?
The Buckeye Beard Battle down in Zanesville. It's September 19th
Yeah,
next year. Which I thought that
yeah.
was really cool
So
because the guy was like, "Hey, like I want you to help me find some Ohio talent for next year," and they had people from like California that went there just to attend the show, not as artists or anything. So it seems to be like a big and growing thing. But I was like, "Okay, you want some Ohio talent? I got a couple picks for you." So
and then as the one person without facial hair in the band, I'll get a fake beard.
Just draw it on.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, do real poorly with a Sharpie.
Yeah. Yeah, you do it with a Sharpie. Do it with
be like
permanent marker.
like an Abraham Lincoln.
I'll just pass out from the fumes. This will be in like the middle of the second song. I just fall over.
Sorry, we got backup
He's all
tracks. We'll
right.
be all right.
Fine, we'll do it like Weekend at Tiffany's. We get a
But now,
Bernie. What the hell is that?
Speaking of
um,
Bernie's,
I was gonna
Okay.
ask, and regarding attending, and then we were talking about cranking hogs there a minute ago. Um, do you have any crazy stories from of stuff that you've seen while you've attended festivals or shows? Because I know there's some stuff that goes on.
I've never seen anybody crank their hog, but
No.
Uh,
I've seen drug deals. Saw that watching Cannibal Corpse. Um, Matt can tell you about a guy he got beat up.
Yeah,
Taste
that's
of
true.
Chaos.
I forget. Was that Taste of Chaos? So like
Wasn't
I'm
it?
standing there, and there's a guy that's behind me, and he keeps like bumping into me, and I'm like, all right, like I let one go, like it's like obviously it's a festival, like this is gonna happen. It happens
Mm.
a second time, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna. It's irritating, but it is what it is. And the third time, he literally like plows into me, like falls into me, and I'm like, dude, what the so I turn around and like shove him, and I shove him into these two girls, and he falls on the ground, and they're over top of him, like cussing and screaming and yelling at him. And apparently, I think one of them was his girlfriend, and he was caught cheating or some other wild stuff. But I'm like, that's right,
This
dude.
girl was straight up beating this guy. She was punching him in
Yeah.
the face, slapping
Hmm.
him. Just like, all right. And we just turned, and I think it was either during like a Treyu or both my Valentine's. We just kind of turned and just started watching the band again.
The other weird one that I have was I think Aaron was there too. Is whenever we saw Mudvayne when they debuted again back in Incarceration, it was like 2022 or 23.
One.
And there was one guy that just came storming down like out of nowhere, like down kind of like the middle area, but he was bent over but bent backwards. And I mean like his legs were functioning, but the whole top half of him was not, and he was just like full limp, like back, and he's just walking around. And I looked at Aaron, and we were
Oh,
like, "What the hell is going on?" And I'm like, "That like he's on probably every substance known to man, and he's just walking around this area, just fully bent backwards, staring up at the sky, aimlessly walking." And I think they eventually ended up taking him to one of the, like out on the stretcher, but it was just so weird to see this dude just meandering through the crowd, just completely bent back, staring up at the sky.
that's crazy. It makes me think of
It
have you
looked
guys
like
seen
something.
that Disney, or I think it's Disney movie called Onward, where the kids get like the bottom half of their dad back, but the top half didn't like get to form.
No, that's pretty much what it was.
Right.
Doesn't sound
That
like any
was
Disney
just
movie I
so.
know.
That was just so weird to like witness.
I
I
remember
I only
seeing
have
Avenged
seen.
Sevenfold. Good.
Oh, you go ahead. You started already.
I remember seeing Avenged Sevenfold. This was like or no, not Taste This was the Uproar Fest in like 2011. And I saw him in Pittsburgh, and it was at I don't know what it's called now, but it's the Pavilion that's in Pittsburgh. It seemingly gets renamed every few years. I just had like the general admission ticket, so it was back behind all the seating. And I remember there was I had my sister's flip HD camera at the time, so I wasn't going to go into like any pits or anything. And I remembered that I don't remember what song they were playing, but there was like everybody kind of got out of the way, and like just these girls got in there, and there was probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 girls in there just kind of having their own pit or whatever. And for whatever reason, people kept egging this one guy on to get in the pit, and they kept calling him like a pussy and everything for all this stuff. And he wouldn't go in there. So somebody like finally shoves him, and he goes in there, and he's like, okay. So he like starts kind of getting going with the girls, and like I don't think he did it on purpose, but at one point he like leveled this girl, and she just face plant in the ground. And this guy who looked like The Rock comes out of nowhere and just picks him up by like the neck, starts screaming at him, and just hits him in the face
Oh,
like
God.
he's like saying like, "Oh, you want to like beat women and stuff?" He's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ!" And a couple people stepped in, like to break it up, which is good because that guy probably would have died. But this guy like legitimately was built like The Rock. Like I've never seen somebody like that big in person before. It was crazy.
Do you have like a Russian accent?
Probably.
Maybe.
With my two, the only the ones that come to mind. When back in 2011, it was still Rock on the Range back then. Sonic Temple, the festival here in Columbus. But back then, Rock on the Range 2011, all five of us were actually but we didn't all know each other at the time. And we're all in different places. But on the way down to the stadium, me and my buddy from the highway could see people having sex like up against the stadium wall from 71. And we were just like, oh, that's what this weekend's going to be about. Um,
Was
same
that the year
year,
that they had the? Was that the year that they had the guy getting the blowjob on the Jumbotron?
I have no idea. I didn't see that.
I don't remember
But
that.
more similar to Matt's story, I was at a tiny festival. One of those ones that like a regular sized venue will do, but it's music all day. And it was up in Toledo where I grew up. And like this kid was just kind of going hard in the circle pit, but for some reason they weren't selling cans or plastic bottles. They were selling glass beer bottles
Mm.
instead. So there was broken glass everywhere, and our friend had lost her shoe. So me and my buddy were standing there in front of her so she can keep her footing. And this kid falls into us, and we throw him back towards the center of the pit. And he tripped at the ground, and then the pit just closed while he was still on the ground, like
Jeez.
like almost like a wall of death. And he was just on the ground in the middle of it. And I didn't see him again for the rest of the night, but I was keeping track. There was like 10 ambulances that showed up for that show before it ended.
Mm.
And it was just pretty wild.
Cole, didn't you get hit in the head with a can or something at one show?
He did. He has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Well, I still got it. my Molson can. I was my sister and I. This was I think 2016. We went to Pittsburgh and we saw Rise Against and Pierce the Veil,
Oh.
and we were pretty close, up to the front there, and it was during Rise Against set. And I was just kind of watching, having a good time or whatever. And I hear my sister was recording stuff on her phone, and she's got the video. It's hilarious. So people were just throwing stuff to the front for whatever reason, and you just hear somebody yell, "Watch out!" And then my sister like turned and goes, "Oh my god!" And this was like a unopened full. What is this, like 16 ounce? It's a pint. So it was a full can, and it just cracked me in the back of the head and just exploded. And in the video, you just hear this massive thud and just this explosion of beer. And I kept the can. I was able to sneak it out of the venue and get it past security. So it's been on my shelf for almost 10 years now.
I was gonna say my wife and I forget who was playing, but it was either first or second year at incarceration, and there was a couple right in front of us that the girl was bent over, getting it, and we were like, "That's cool." And then it wasn't at a music show, but I've got my my signed Randy photo back here, and then the white piece there is a cheeseburger wrapper. He threw cheeseburgers into the crowd. I got smacked in the face with one. Got to eat the cheeseburger, and then I had him sign the wrapper, so it's framed back there.
At least you got a burger and a signature out of it.
Yeah.
And that was
I
also
think
the
it
night
was
that
like-
I licked his nipple, but that's a whole nother thing.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
that's a great night for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
Great night
wife
for
and I
anyone,
went up to
really.
Cleveland. We went up and saw Asking Alexandria in Cleveland, like I want to say 2 years ago. And there was like a girl with her friend who were there, and they were pretty drunk. And the one girl just like wasn't wearing a bra and had a very like high cut like crop top shirt. So they kept flopping out as she would jump around and stuff. And there was like this group of guys that like, they just kind of happened to be next to all of us. And they start talking, and the one girl is like trying to get the guy to go get her a drink because she doesn't want to leave her spot. The guy was like, well, like I can go get it, but like I need something from you or whatever. She's like, well, what do you want? He goes, I don't know. She's like, how about I show you my boobs? And he was like, okay. So they all kind of like huddle around each other, like enclose the two of them in there. She shows him her boobs, and he goes, oh, well, like they fit your body. I was just like, oh, that's not good. And then he never left to go get her a drink either. The disappointment in that man's voice was so funny.
Oh man.
Oh,
that's
good
crazy. Oh god. That's funny. I have a few more questions here, and then I am gonna wrap up because I need to eat some dinner here. My wife's waiting on me for that. This is quesadilla night part 2. Whoever I was messaging the other night, that was a disaster. So
He had
bad.
moldy quesadillas.
Yeah.
They were liquefied mold quesadillas.
And that's the sad thing, like the bottom one was, and it like adhered to the package, so it was like a pocket. So I didn't know that the rest of them were just as nasty until I took a bite, and I was like, "This sucks." So I got fresh ones today. I double checked them.
There you go.
Solid.
What do you guys do outside of your music to keep yourself mentally balanced? Or like, what's your go-to?
I like to paint stuff.
I see that, and I
Well,
want one.
speaking of, did you see my did you see the video I posted today? Yeah, I sent it to you. The one of the ghost pirate ship.
And what's funny is the video that I watched was just like the painting of it, and then I was like, "Oh, that would be great for Pestilence." And then I saw the video on um the story of that, and I was like, "Oh, he did that for Pestilence." I was like, "That makes sense, though."
Yeah. Well, anyway, do you want it? It's yours.
Oh God.
I can either mail it to you. It's kind of fragile, though. Cole was saying you're coming to our show coming up, so I could just save it for you then, and we can I can give it to you when we're partying in the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. That thing is sick, dude. I appreciate that. I'll put it right up
Yeah,
here
you
with
can
my
have it.
my
It's
Nerve
all
album.
yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a decent size too. It's definitely cool. Like if you got somebody in there, they're going to ask about it.
I'm very excited for that, dude. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
You made me happy.
Good. Yeah, you said you really liked it, so I was like, this is the one. I'll give it to him.
So, for me, I teach music. It's my job, so I'm always just playing music in general. But play video games, and I go to the gym 6 days a week. So, just essentially, it's all I do at this point.
Oh God,
That's
you
funny.
you make it to the gym 6 times a week. You can't see it, but right in front of me is a home gym. Um, I can tell you how many times I've used it this year.
And my gym is like, if I get stuck at the red light, like a 2-minute drive away. So it's I'm not really going super far.
Me, I can play music. I fix things. I'm a maintenance guy. That's my job, and I get a pretty good little satisfaction out of that when, even not at work, when someone will call me and say, "Hey, can I pay you to come do this?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And when I can actually figure it out, that's uh that's my little boost of serotonin right there.
Mine is it's video games, or I mean, honestly, I'm usually playing my bass or some sort of music, like learning something new, or trying out different practices or routines or whatever. So that's very therapeutic to me. Video games just kind of help, they're that distraction. But I would say learning new stuff on bass is kind of for me. So that's kind of like my mental break, if you will. Outside of like the faith and failure stuff and the metalcore, like I'll play a wide range of different genres and learn new techniques and all that stuff. So that's just something I do. It's just fun.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Matt also does all of our artwork, and he does
Yeah, I
not
draw
like
too. Yeah,
personal things too.
He
He
dabbles.
sometimes he's working on, and it's really good.
yeah. I've done line work for pretty much everything that we have. And I started coloring and filling in stuff. I think Hero 2 was the first one that I did 100% on my iPad, and I've done everything since.
That is really
And
cool. That
then
that is something that I wish I was better at, but I've thought about trying to improve. So that is awesome. I like that you do that.
Thank you.
it got to a point when we were putting out Lost, and Matt did that artwork. Everyone that saw it was like, "Oh, you guys used AI to make this." And we're like, "No, he's
Uh,
just that good."
I remember seeing it for the first time. Like, bro, this is AI.
Yeah. I
He's
had
like, no, I
spent
did it. I'm
How
like,
probably,
many
oh,
how many hours
I think,
did you spend on that? How many hours?
I think it was 14 to 15 hours is what I had spent
Yeah.
in total. And it was a very new like technique again, because outside of learning new bass techniques, I also like to learn new art techniques. And you can even see it in the new like piece I did for Troubled Times. That piece probably took me about a good 12 to 13 hours to do in total.
Wow.
So I learned something new, and I was like, I really like this song Lost. Like, it's great. I love the elements, the dynamics of it. And I was like, I feel like this is one of those songs that just needs something bigger. Like, it needs just a very powerful like imagery to go behind the song. And I had sat and just did this piece and went through countless number of rough drafts and sketches and things I deleted and got rid of. And I came across that, and I was so proud of it. And then like everyone's like saying how great it looks, and then I was just laughing because Cole was like, "Are you sure it's not AI?" I'm like, "Dude, I swear it's not AI."
he had never drawn something like that before. I've been seeing him draw
Yeah,
stuff since we were in the 6th grade, and he's never drawn anything like that.
because there was a gap between like what I did for Hero 2 up until I did Lost, and in between that gap, I had learned a bunch of new techniques. And even if you take what I did for Lost compared to Troubled Times, there's a gap in there too. Like Troubled Times, I think looks more on the kind of the more detailed, realistic side,
Hmm.
which again is something new that I had learned. I had learned different things on how to use, because I use Procreate for everything. So I had learned a bunch of different new things to do in Procreate, and it come up with really cool art pieces.
That's awesome. And that's something with as I've kind of grown as a creator that I kind of want to learn a little bit more about because I keep using Fiverr to hire people to do graphics for things when I need them, or at least for things that I can't do. So I wish I could do a little bit more of that because I need some better looking banners and stuff.
Yeah, I've been drawing since I think um, my mom has drawings that I did back when I was like 3, and I've just been drawing ever since.
Well, hopefully that continues to be a thing for you. Um,
I'm sure it will. Yeah.
next one as we're wrapping up here, what new news do you guys have as a band? Any new releases coming soon? I know we talked a little bit about shows, and where can anyone that watches find you guys and connect with you online?
Well, for the latter part of that, we're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. If it's Instagram and Facebook, it's official Faith and Failure. If it's TikTok or Twitter, it's just Faith and Failure. Um, YouTube's also official Faith and Failure, but you can message us on any of that stuff. We have a website, but it's going to be being redone. So right now, if you go there, you're not going to really get anything. Um, there's that. We do have another song that'll be out towards the end of the year. Is it Masters of the World, Chad? What we decided?
That's what it's called, Masters of the World.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you thought that the end was long, this one's slightly longer than the end. This
Are
one
we hitting
clocks in
that?
at like almost 7.5 minutes.
Okay. I was just gonna throw something
It's
crazy
not
out.
like
Like, are we hitting 10 minutes yet?
it's not like Dream Theater, length of songs, but it's definitely our longest one. But it's a fun one. It'll be a cool one that comes out. We don't have a date picked for it yet. It'll be more towards the end of the year. Obviously, we're still going through everything, promoting Troubled Times and everything. So, but there will be one more release before the year's over, which
I
will be available everywhere, of course, just like all the others.
I will be ready for that one. I'm slowly working on getting through all of your guys' songs, so I have like the full, Bald Guy Reacts catalog for Faith and Failure. Because I mean, any exposure I can get for you guys definitely deserve. So I want to do my part as much as I
Thank you.
can. And I appreciate all the support that you guys have given because I never thought when I first started this that this would be like a thing. I kind of felt like bands would be kind of like, why is this guy listen to my music? Like just listen to it. Like, why are you making videos about it? I didn't know it was like a big a thing as it is. So
It's just shifting times, basically. That's at
That's the
least
whole.
like what's cool about like Columbus is, we've been doing this in Columbus since 2019, so we've seen a lot of people kind of come and go. But a lot of the bands that are there, or even just Ohio bands in general, a lot of really cool people that we've become friends with, and always try to help each other out and and everything. So it's the state as a whole has definitely got a really cool, music scene, and like you're discovering that with all the bands that you're talking with, and all that good stuff.
mhm. It has been awesome. But I'm gonna end this one here. If there's anything else that I think that we can talk about, um, maybe I'll bring some equipment with me to the show and we can do one live there, in the from the
We do a
trailer.
mobile one.
Hell yeah.
But no, I
Yeah,
definitely
that'd
look
be cool.
forward to
Honestly, we haven't
chatting
had
with
that
you
happen
guys
yet. So
more than just one time. I mean, you guys are doing big things. I like the ideas and how you guys kind of uh, all collaborate with different areas, not just instrumentally with the music that you guys do. So I'm looking forward to seeing much more growth and hopefully some big festivals and things for you guys. Because I'm surprised that you guys haven't like I saw the Browning was on the third stage at Inc. this year, and like they're fairly big. But I definitely think that you guys definitely have a part there on one of the bigger stages. Just I think that you guys would bring the crowd. I think everyone would have a great time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Did you happen to see one of the third stage bands called How We Feel?
I did not. They were
No.
on my tag list for bands I wanted to see, but we had a sewage line break at our house day one of Ink, and
Oh,
like that pushed us back every single day, having plumbers out and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
sounds like it. I was gonna say because the vocalist, that's actually our manager.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Hmm?
I do have
Yep.
How We Feel is on my backlog. I'm trying to like get through, some of the music that the bands have. So like I said, I like having like a catalog of everything that's done and then kind of add like the next artist and stuff like that. How We Feel will be coming to the channel. So,
I'll text him and let him know.
but I want to thank you guys so much for your time. You spent a little bit of time here with me tonight, and I know you guys also had practice today. So, um, thank you guys so much, and look forward to seeing you guys here at the show, and definitely looking forward to seeing that masterpiece there in person as well. So, you guys have an
Yeah,
awesome
I'll
night, and
have them for you.
we will talk soon.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so
Have
much.
a good
Yeah,
one.
thank
I
you.
appreciate the time.
See you guys.